thinking of new names for the department, because I have worked in Congress for 25 years now, and they only fund agencies with 3 letters. Okay, so here they are. I just want a vote on this now. The American Department of Agriculture, the ADA, and from some of the comments today, it could also be the American Dyslexic Association for how closely we have to read this RFA. Also, I was thinking of maybe the Department of American Agriculture. But then I said, well, duh. And finally, but not least here, the American Agricultural Agency, the AAA. Do you like that? And if we don't get any more funding, USDA employees get free towing. So, my name is Tim McGreevy. I am the Executive Director and CEO of the new American Pulse Association. Now, this is a brand new association, a marriage between 2 national groups that were separated at birth. So, the USA Dry Pea and Lentil Council and the US Dry Bean Council have merged to become the American Pulse Association to work on a new initiative that I'm going to talk about called the Pulse Health Initiative. And with me today are the chairman and vice chairman of the American Pulse Association, Greg Johnson and Cindy Brown, who are both producers and processors and also past national chairman of these 2 national Pulse associations. So, right here, this is my little small farm in Pullman, Washington, seeding lentils last year, something I should be doing right now, but instead, I am here to talk to you about pulse crops, and I'm sure everyone wants to know what is a pulse crop. Well, pulse crops, legume, it's in the legume family, right? And legume, from the Latin word, means to gather. Pulse means by the FAO definition, and the Latin term is thick soup or pottage. So I am here to talk to you and encourage you tonight to gather and eat thick soup made with legumes. Now, pulse crops are dry beans, peas, lentils, and chickpeas. So those are the crops we are representing and what we are working on in the Pulse Health Initiative. These are ancient crops. These crops are an incredible resource for humankind. They are high in protein, high in essential amino acids. They are low or little fat, no cholesterol, high in folate, high in dietary fiber. My gosh, they can improve your sex drive, I'm telling you. And on top of this, they fix nitrogen in the soil. There is no greater super crop than pulses. And why do we need these crops more than ever? I applaud USDA for tackling child obesity. 1 out of 3 children, 2 out of 3 adults are overweight and obese. We do have a national crisis, and we have to do something about it. The Pulse Health Initiative is our answer, and this is our mission statement: to provide solutions to the critical health and sustainability challenges facing the citizens of this country and the global community through research on pulse crops. That is our mission. World population, reducing global hunger, enhancing food security. If you're not worried about this, you should be. If the projections hold true and we add an additional 3 billion people to this planet by the year 2050, and we have to double our food supply to do it, we, as agriculture, have a huge challenge. A huge challenge. And I believe very strongly to accomplish this goal, we are going to have to increase our research and productivity of our pulse crops. In the Pulse Health Initiative, we're focusing on 3 areas of research: health and nutrition, to provide solutions to those critical health and nutrition issues facing our society, including obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. We also need great research in functionality and use. These are a traditional crop, but we need to introduce them into new items so we can increase consumption of these products that are so good for your health. And finally, sustainability, to find solutions to the environmental, climate change, nitrogen fixation, our social problems that we have with our carbon and water footprint, and our economic cost and benefit analysis, as so many of our commodity groups have spoken today, we have to remain competitive and make sure that these crops are economical to raise. This is why the water footprint is a big deal, because I believe in our lifetimes we are going to see that the greatest wars we will fight may be over water and not oil. And so as we look at the solutions that we can provide in agriculture, we have to take a look at our water footprint. This study was done by 2 scientists in the Netherlands, and it shows the amount of gallons of water needed to produce 1 pound of the product. Now, since the animal agriculturalists aren't here today, let's look at beef. Let me tell you, the cowboys that I knew packed guns, and I'm glad they were checked at the door today. So, 1,857 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef. Now, I want you to look far over there to the right-hand side of the screen. Pulse crops, 43 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of pulses. As our population increases, pulse crops have got to be an important part of this solution because of what they provide in their nutrient-dense capacity. A water footprint, carbon footprint, these crops have many solutions to the goals that USDA, NIFA, and other research agencies are trying to resolve. So, a couple of weeks ago, we gathered together 50 scientists, industry leaders, and food manufacturers to Beltsville, Maryland. An event actually was sponsored by the USDA-ARS to gather together and put together a strategic plan for the Pulse Health Initiative. And these scientists, it was a very exciting strategic planning session, and they came up with 3 goals that we're going to accomplish in the Pulse Health Initiative. The first goal is to reduce obesity and the associated diseases, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, and do that by 50% because we know that in societies that eat these crops, they do not have a problem with obesity. Cardiovascular systems are much improved. So we know we can do this. We may have to change the American diet, but that's where we're going to introduce new functionality and end use of these products to get them into our diet. The second goal is to reduce global hunger and enhance food security by increasing pulse crop productivity not only in this country, but around the world. Because we have to increase that if we're going to feed a growing population. And frankly, I don't think it's going to be through meat products. It's going to be through increased use of protein-rich vegetable proteins like pulses. And finally, the third goal is to reduce ag's carbon and water footprint by optimizing pulse crop nitrogen fixation and all of its sustainability attributes. So I would like to thank you for allowing me to get up and give you a little evangelization here of pulse crops, and I hope you consume them tonight because they are fantastic crops. And I want to leave you just with this line. We could change the name of the USDA to the American Agriculture Department because we add to the solutions of human health. We add to the solutions for the sustainability of this planet. We add. Thank you very much.